Imagine a place so eerie, so steeped in the unexplained, that even the bravest souls hesitate to tread its grounds. A place where shadows move on their own, strange lights dance across the sky, and whispers of ancient curses seem to echo through the winds. Welcome to Skinwalker Ranch, a sprawling, desolate property in Utah that has been the epicenter of some of the most terrifying and unexplainable paranormal encounters in modern history. It's a story that defies logic and challenges our understanding of reality. What begins as a seemingly peaceful ranch turns into a living nightmare where cattle vanish without a trace, otherworldly creatures roam the land, and the sky above becomes a canvas for phenomena no scientist can explain. But the real question is, are you ready to face the darkness that lurks within? Our story begins in 1994, when Terry and Gwen Sherman, along with their 2 children, bought the 512-acre ranch, hoping to start a quiet life raising cattle. From the moment they arrived, they felt something was off. The property was eerily quiet, almost too still, and there was a strange, oppressive energy in the air. The previous owners had left abruptly, without explanation, but they soon found out why. On their very first night, Terry spotted a massive wolf-like creature near the cattle pen. This was no ordinary wolf. It was nearly 3 times the size of any wolf he'd ever seen. Its fur was a silvery gray, and its eyes glowed an unnatural shade of yellow. Terry grabbed his rifle and fired several rounds, but the creature barely flinched before disappearing into the nearby woods. The family chalked it up to a bizarre coincidence, but the encounters only escalated. Over the next few weeks, they witnessed glowing orbs of light floating silently above the ranch. These orbs seemed to move with intelligence, weaving through the trees and even hovering over their home. One night, as Terry and Gwen stood outside, they saw a giant orange orb in the distance. Inside the orb, they could see what looked like a portal, a window into another world. Terry described seeing a blue sky and what appeared to be another landscape entirely. The animals on the ranch were not spared from the terror. Cattle would disappear without a trace, and when they were found, their bodies were mutilated in ways that defied explanation. Precise surgical cuts, no blood at the scene, and no tracks leading to or from the site. One particularly chilling incident involved a calf that had been alive and healthy just moments earlier. Terry and Gwen left it unattended for a mere 20 minutes, only to return and find it completely dismembered. It was as if something had torn it apart with incredible force and precision. The family also began experiencing strange phenomena inside their home. Doors would slam shut on their own, objects would vanish and reappear in odd places, and they often heard voices speaking in a language they couldn't understand. At night, Gwen felt as though she was being watched, and Terry reported hearing heavy footsteps on the roof. One night, the family's dogs began barking uncontrollably, staring into the darkness at something they couldn't see. Terry, armed with a flashlight and his rifle, ventured out to investigate. He found massive footprints in the dirt, unlike anything he'd ever seen. The tracks were too large to belong to any known animal and seemed to vanish abruptly, as if whatever had made them had simply disappeared into thin air. The family's fear reached its peak when they encountered a creature they described as a humanoid figure with glowing red eyes. It stood motionless, staring at them from a distance before vanishing into the darkness. The Shermans knew they couldn't stay any longer. After only 18 months, they sold the ranch and fled, leaving behind their dream of a peaceful life. But the story doesn't end there. In 1996, the ranch was purchased by billionaire Robert Bigelow, who was fascinated by the paranormal and determined to uncover the truth. Bigelow funded a team of scientists and investigators, forming the National Institute for Discovery Science, IS. For years, they conducted experiments and gathered data, but the phenomena at Skinwalker Ranch seemed to defy scientific explanation. The team witnessed flying objects, magnetic anomalies, and inexplicable radiation spikes. Equipment would malfunction without warning, and cameras set up to capture evidence would suddenly stop working. One researcher reported seeing a creature crawl out of a glowing blue portal before disappearing into the night. Another described hearing guttural growls and whispers, even though no one else was around. The name Skinwalker Ranch comes from Navajo legend. Skinwalkers are said to be shape-shifting witches who can take the form of animals and wreak havoc on those they curse. According to local lore, the land where the ranch now sits was cursed long ago during a bitter feud between two Native American tribes. Some believe this curse is the source of the strange and terrifying phenomena. In 2016, the ranch changed hands again, this time purchased by a private owner who remains anonymous. The new owner has continued to document the paranormal activity, even allowing limited access to researchers and media. A television series has since been created, chronicling the ongoing investigation into the ranch's mysteries. To this day, Skinwalker Ranch remains a hotbed of unexplained activity. From UFO sightings to cryptid encounters, the phenomena show no signs of stopping. Skeptics argue that it's all a hoax, or the result of overactive imaginations, but those who have experienced the ranch firsthand know otherwise. The fear is real, the terror is palpable, and the mysteries remain unsolved. So what is the truth behind Skinwalker Ranch? Is it a gateway to another dimension, a cursed land, or something even more sinister? As we explore the chilling events that have unfolded there, one thing is certain. Skinwalker Ranch is a place where the line between reality and the unknown blurs, leaving us with more questions than answers. Are you brave enough to venture into the darkness and uncover the secrets of Skinwalker Ranch? Or will the mystery remain just out of reach, a chilling reminder of the things we cannot explain? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear. Skinwalker Ranch is a place where nightmares come to life, and the unknown lurks just beyond the shadows.